It was a regular life where I was doing well in sales and marketing, and financially it was rewarding. But then after a few years, like for 4 years or so, I just kind of felt something is amiss. And I knew that this was not my calling, and there was something much more that I had to do in this life. And then one day I found, miraculously, a book in my letterbox, a huge book which said Holistic Medicine, Mind, Body and Soul.
Every moment, every choice has its own part towards learning.
Yes.
And you may feel, oh, this is not me. But then you find that this is me. And you open the Pandora's box and it's all open to you.
No family is perfect. All families are dysfunctional. Most families are dysfunctional. So we have a choice whether to forgive the parents and then get in touch with your own independent version self to be a strong individual and have a strong sense of self and move on.
Nowadays, children, it's good to be aware of that, yet somewhere stuck in that loop. Do you feel that also? That they are stuck in the loop of aid. So the people or the counselors help them to come out of that and
Yes.
then heal them.
Yes, that's right. The millennials, the children who've been born in the early 80s to late 90s, they're the bulk of my clients today.
Yeah.
And as you rightly said, they're different from our generation. There are various factors why they are like this. One of them is the rise of technology, like you said. There's too much bombarded at them. And there's also the peer pressure of doing well in life. Because the world is very competitive. It's more competitive than it used to be in our times. Also the pressure of doing well in exams. Sometimes it's helicopter parenting. And also now there is the confusion about sexuality.
While doing this as a counselor with the traditional techniques, all the counseling techniques, so the more than 15 holistic healing techniques. How do you bring it together, and how do you feel that it is important to bring both of them together?
I begin with doing emotional release work, and I use the mind-body processes for trauma release.
After healing so many people, seeing through so much of suffering, and also the will to overcome it, and people are trying to, that's why they contact us. Do you feel exhausted?
I make sure that when I start to get too tired, I take a break. I stop for a week. I focus on my own well-being. So, I just take walks, I go out in the sun, or I would just go and shop. I go shop.
Women and shopping.
Catch up with my girlfriends, and then when you see that when you come back after a week, you can pour more because your own cup is full.
Namaskar friends. Today I welcome Taanya Nagi on behalf of Spiritual Tara. Taanya Nagi is a holistic counselor and healer, and is also a founder of Holistic Healing Center in New Delhi. She combines traditional counseling techniques with more than 15 holistic healing modalities to offer to the well-rounded development of the individual. Taanya believes that the true healing of an individual can happen only if it addresses the three aspects of the self: mind, body and spirit. So welcome, Taanya. It's an honor, Taanya Nagi.
My pleasure, Vibha.
And it's so interesting when the goal of an individual becomes that she wants to balance the counseling, the scientific side of counseling, and also the spiritual science, and bring out the best from the individuals and help them to lead a very fulfilling life. Tell me, how did the journey begin?
Yes, so it was interesting. I had finished my graduation in political science, and I only had psychology as an elective. And then I just went ahead, went to Australia, got married, and started working in a corporate company into sales and marketing. And, it was a regular life where I was doing well in sales and marketing, and financially it was rewarding. But then after a few years, like for 4 years or so, I just kind of felt something is amiss. And I knew that this was not my calling. and there was something much more that I had to do in this life. So my search began, and I started praying to God. I just said, look, there's something that is amiss. What is it? It was quite a task because it was painful not to know what you really want, what gave you joy. And then one day I found miraculously a book in my letterbox, a huge book which said holistic medicine, mind, body, and soul.
Wow.
And I just kind of read that, and I kept subscribing to it for a few months. And then one day, as I was going through it, I found an advertisement for a course in holistic healing and counseling, and the picture of the teacher really attracted me. I was really pulled to her picture, just like I'm pulled to you, I think. And I always follow my instincts, I always follow my gut, I live by my heart. So I pursued that diploma, and it took me a year to finish that. And that was when I realized that, well, this is where I fit in this world, and this is where my talents lie.
Tanya, it usually happens like it's said that either you plan everything, you plan your life, and everything is, well laid out for you, and you're very happy with it. Or sometimes it keeps knocking at the door of your soul, and the purpose pulls you.
Yes,
Sometimes you just find it in the letterbox, as you said.
absolutely.
So, isn't that interesting that that one person who's very well placed and yet not feeling fulfilled,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And the universe plans it somehow, and universe listens to that soul voice or soul calling,
yeah,
and offers that
sign,
that
yes.
sign or that opportunity is offered to you, and still it depends on you whether to
Go for
pursue
it.
it, go for it or not. And that exactly happened with you.
Yes, exactly. And then further, there was another sign which I got, which was, when I look back, I can now tell you, that time I didn't make much of it. As I was still working in the company, I went onto my desk one day, and I saw a big book titled Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan. And I asked everybody around, who is it? Whose is it? And it kept lying there till the end of the day. And then I just thought, if it's nobody's, let me take it. And then I went and read it. But then I just felt, wow, why is it on my desk? What is the universe trying to tell me? And I think I subconsciously took it as another sign from God, from universe, that this is what you need to do.
And that is so interesting that that you also answer the call and feel satisfied.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we just, because every moment, every choice has its own part towards learning.
Yes.
And you may feel, oh, this is not me. But then you find that, that this is me. And you open the Pandora's box and it's all open to you.
Yes, absolutely. When I started doing the course of holistic healing, that's when I realized that this is where I belong. Before that, I wasn't sure. And I want to also tell you, Vibha, that I thought that I should maybe enroll into a Masters of Social Work, because one of my motivators has always been to serve the underdog or to serve the society, something to do to serve the society. So I went, I cleared the interview in one of the universities of Melbourne. But then I realized that no, something again told me that although I got it, the degree was inviting me to start the course, I still felt this is not it. There's something else, there's something else.
And you found it.
And I found it, and I'm so grateful to the universe for guiding me.
Yeah. So when you got into this course, the holistic course, and this was the year 2000.
2000, yes.
Right? And you've completed it, and then went on to learn so many more
Yes,
things.
because we had to do the electives as part of the course. We could choose 5 electives. So I chose Reiki, I chose inner child healing, I chose anger and stress management, a couple
Another. Yeah. And what was the difference you found when we talk about Reiki? It's a healing. Right?
Yes.
It's a divine healing. And when we talk about inner child, it's more of psychology driven.
Correct.
Right? We go into the deeper layers in a different way, and in our memories, in our experiences, what happened in our lifetime when we were child. and Reiki is a divine healing. What was the difference you found, and how did it come together?
Sure. So Reiki is a hands-on healing modality where we lay hands on the client and we channel the divine energy to go and heal wherever required. It's an intelligent universal life force. It's an energy healing. Whereas inner child work is also healing, although it's a part of psychology, but it is also healing. It heals the wounded inner child. So children who have had troubled childhoods or traumatic childhoods, this is like taking them back to their childhood home, revisiting and making them aware of how the traumatic experiences were actually wounding them, and then to heal those wounds in the form of a meditation, and also giving them knowledge about what the four ego states are, as we call in psychology,
Yeah.
which is the wounded child and the positive adult and the negative adult and the wonder child. So this kind of raises the client's consciousness and they understand as to what had happened to them, and then today they have a choice either to forgive their parents or to go on with the wounds. So then we often teach them that it's better to, because no family is perfect. All families are dysfunctional. Most families are dysfunctional. So we have a choice whether to forgive the parents and then get in touch with your own independent version self to be a strong individual and have a strong sense of self and move on.
Yeah. This is nowadays, I mean, since the social media has come alive and so much prevalent and everywhere, even for the kids and everywhere, all the information, it's a cloud burst of information.
Yes.
What's happening. So the information is so much accessible.
Overwhelming.
That, it has become overwhelming.
Yeah.
And in fact, where they used to, like in our generation, we thought about parents, whether they got along well or not, whether we felt or not, but it was not so much of pain in our hearts, and we would feel, okay, this must be thing, and we move on, we make our lives, and we have. Nowadays, children, it's good to be aware of that, yet somewhere, it's something, they are stuck in that loop. Do you feel that also? That they have stuck in the loop of 8. So the people or the counselors help them to come out of that and then heal them.
Yes, that's right. The millennials, the children who've been born in the early 80s to late 90s, they're the bulk of my clients today.
Yeah.
And as you rightly said, they're different from our generation. There are various factors why they are like this. One of them is the rise of technology, like you said. There's too much bombarded at them. And there's also the peer pressure of doing well in life. There's because the world is very competitive. It's more competitive than it used to be in our times. Also the pressure of doing well in exams. Sometimes it's helicopter parenting. And also now there is the confusion about sexuality, which wasn't there probably that evident in our generation. So all these factors have led them to feel more anxious. So the bulk of the millennials, a lot of them are suffering from panic attacks, anxiety disorders. Also because they're dating, I guess, very early in life, and then they're changing partners very early in life. There's no stability in relationships, which is leaving them more confused and sometimes even depressed, actually.
Yeah. Because whether you reject or you are rejected, the feeling of rejection and abandonment, leaves that wound, whether from the parents or from friends or any love relationship. Right?
It's the same
and
feeling.
It's the same thing. And even in schools, I mean, the teachers, how they sometimes, favor one child because somebody is doing well and bringing trophies for, the school.
Well, teachers play a very big role in shaping the child.
And that's where those words really matter. And they echo. I mean, so many children, when when they contact me and then they share the experiences, how the words echo them.
Absolutely, because when we do inner child healing work, we actually tell the clients that you're not just your parents, but also the teachers, even the peers, whatever labels that were put on you. like you're careless or you're, not good
smallest of the
enough.
things.
They remain in the
that
subconscious.
you'll never understand this.
You'll never be able to do this.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it leaves a
Wound,
crazy
a
wound
mark
and stamp.
Yes.
Yeah. So Taanya, later on you also did hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
How did it help you?
Clinical hypnotherapy helped me a lot because it taps into the subconscious mind of the individual. So, in psychotherapy and in counseling, in things like CBT, it's only the conscious mind that we can tap into. But hypnotherapy is a deeper layer of the subconscious mind where all the fears, all the subconscious wounds, memories are buried. And as Freud said, that some memories are so painful that one doesn't want to face them. So one just represses and suppresses them in the subconscious mind. And my work will not be as successful as it is if I wasn't doing hypnotherapy, because this is where I work on the deeper layers of their mind. And as you know, there are 4 layers of the mind. One is the conscious state, like we're talking now. It's a beta state. Alpha state is when you relax a bit. And theta state is where we work in clinical hypnotherapy, where the brain waves are really slow and the conscious mind takes a back seat and the subconscious comes to the forefront. So I use that not just to tap into the healing for the healing work, but also to implant suggestions like for goal achievement, to lose weight or to achieve some exam, get through to some exam or interview. So it's used for that.
Is it true that in hypnotherapy they say that if you are very active, right, that the people who are their mind is very active and logical and questioning, it's very difficult to put them in hypnosis?
Okay. Yeah. So
emos and
the emotional quotients and the physical. So there are different
physical.
scripts. Yes, there are physicals and the emotionals. And first thing there is a questionnaire. So there is a questionnaire that we hand to the client, and then that decides whether he's an emotional or a physical. Emotionals are the ones who are less. They doubt the hypnotherapy. They doubt whether they will be hypnotized or not. So for that, we use a different script. The scripts used for both are different. Because, a person who's been in the army, these are the sort of people who are going to doubt. And sometimes they even tell me that I'm not sure if I'm going to be hypnotized. So then I said, just relax. It is just a deep state of relaxation. And then let's see what happens. So they take a longer time to get into the theta state.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And which all healing modalities you are associated with?
I do NLP and neuro-linguistic programming, and that again helps me a lot in changing the neuro pathways of the client. As the name suggests, neuro-linguistic programming. So, for example, if a client is very fearful, so recently I'm getting clients with issues of fear of flying. One has social anxiety. So their social anxiety is so strongly embedded कि उनसे बिल्कुल जाया नहीं जाता पब्लिक के आगे. सो अब उनके न्यूरो पाथवेज को चेंज करने के लिए हम हिप्नोथेरेपी भी करते हैं और न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग भी करते हैं. And just one session of NLP is very powerful, but they have to do the homework, which is visualize what they saw, the confident the person that they can become, the best version that they visualize themselves engaging with people confidently. So they have to do the homework. And then it takes 21 days for new neural pathways to form.
Yeah, it always says it takes 21 days, whether it's meditation, whether it's any visualization, they say like that 21 days cycle is very important. Yeah. So Taanya, when you meet a client, when a client approaches you, and the first session, of course, you ask the problems, and so how do you go about it? What's your process?
Sure. So the process is that first of all, I send them an interview form, which is on WhatsApp or an email, and then they send it back to me, and then I meet them. And as you said, the first session is the interview session. Sometimes I also give them a diagnosis if they have a generalized anxiety disorder as per the DSM-5 diagnostic criteria. And after I've given them a diagnosis, then I draft their customized therapy plans. So I make customized and personalized therapy plans for each individual as per their needs. And they can take 5 sessions. It's once a week sessions, 5 sessions at a time. and it's catered to their unique needs, and it's a mixture of all these modalities. So sometimes I have as I was mentioning before, I have a team which helps me with energy healing. So for things like Reiki, pranic healing, theta healing, access bars, also tarots. So there's a team that helps me, and if the client wants that alongside even Akashic reading, they handle this, and then I do my bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taanya, can you share a case study which you feel which was very for you also it was something very surprising when the whole thing came out, and how you made the whole
Sure.
process and
Yeah.
everything, coming to that person now lives a healthy and happy life.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to and satisfying to see the transformation. So a lot of clients come in, they're very fearful, anxious, depressed, and they feel like victims. And then when I start doing the therapies, when I see the gradual shift in their psyche, and in the end, when they go feeling as if they are confident to govern their own lives, um, and the self-awareness is raised, they get to know who they are, all that really, really satisfies me. So I like to tell you about a few cases. So one of them is a girl who's experiencing extreme social anxiety. She's also taking psychiatric medications since a long time. So then I was able to combine NLP, which is to conquer the fear of people going to parties, going to crowded
Socializing.
places, socializing. So NLP was used, hypnotherapy was used, which is to implant for confidence. Like a lot of people come and ask me, we are not confident. So why don't you help us become more confident? So then I use hypnotherapy, implanting the confidence. I use their words. So what I do is, instead of using a generic script, I give them a form which is called a goal achievement. It's a template. So I ask them questions like, how will your life improve when you become this confident person who can enter parties confidently?
Wow.
Who can, overcome the fear of people. So when there are 7 questions, and when they answer those questions, these questions are driven to motivate them to become that. So for example, this girl said, when I'm confident, I can go and interact, I can smile, because she was very closed body language, she never smiled. And then I made her, this made her realize that even her serious face is not helping and nobody's coming to her to say hi. So one element is that, using these sort of questions in the template, and then I implant that suggestion using hypnotherapy. I use not just NLP, but also visualizations and the power of manifestation.
Wow.
Yeah, and also in this case, she had a traumatic childhood. So I go back to the core issues. There is something called finding the core issue in hypnotherapy.
Yes.
So I did that, and why that was happening. It was age regression therapy I used. So I used a lot of these things. So age regression से हमें पता चला कि बचपन में वो कहीं गुम गई थी. वो बचपन में पेरेंट्स के साथ गई थी. It was some crowded place like हरिद्वार or somewhere, and वो गुम गई थी और बच्चा था वो. तो वो फियर उसके अंदर इतना बैठा हुआ था. एक वो एपिसोड उसको याद आया एज रिग्रेशन में. फिर एक बार उसको जॉब से उसका बॉस हरास करता था, और उसमें वहाँ पे भी उसको फियर बैठा, फियर ऑफ फेलियर बैठा. सो हमें पता चला एज रिग्रेशन में कि 5-6 इंस्टेंसेस हुए हैं जिससे उसके दिल में फियर बैठ गया. तो फिर हमने दूसरे दिन हम फिर एज रिग्रेशन थेरेपी करते हैं. उसका हम उल्टा फियर को हील करने के लिए फिर हम उसको ऑपोजिट उसको विजुलाइज करवाते हैं.
Equal opposite positive.
हाँ, so this age regression and therapy are done just one day after the other. मतलब ज़्यादा गैप नहीं देना होता. So I used all these sort of things, and then at the end of the day, now she's in Dubai actually, and now she says, "Ma'am, I make an effort to sit with everybody for lunch." पहले वो lunch भी अकेले, she used to sit separately and have lunch. Or then I made her realize that you need to be proactive, you need to get and sit with everybody, you need to smile. तो उसके body language पे भी काम करा, तो फिर उससे आज वो बहुत comfortable हो गई है. So that makes me very satisfied, and she is also very grateful.
Tanya, I want to ask you another thing, that while doing this as a counselor and with the traditional techniques, all the counseling techniques, and also the more than 15
Correct.
holistic
Yeah.
healing techniques, how do you bring it together, and how do you feel that it is important to bring both of them together?
Right. So I follow a structured approach
Okay.
to my sessions, and they just vary as per client's needs, which is done first, which is done later, as per the priority, what the client needs at that time. But I'll tell you how I do it. Generally, I begin with doing emotional release work. And I use the mind-body processes for trauma release, which are also called mindfulness meditations. So at least the first 4-5 sessions are for trauma release. And after that, I move on to the future vision, goal achievement. And so all these, I mean, I couldn't achieve this just by psychotherapy. Like most of the counselors are only doing psychotherapy, CBT, and that's what when they come and tell me that मैम हमने तो 3 साल से CBT कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा चेंज हुआ है, पर अब आप हिप्नोथेरेपी करो, हमारे न्यूरोपैथ पे मतलब चेंज नहीं हो रहे हैं. So then this is where it comes. So then what I do is I want a well-rounded holistic development and personal growth and healing of my client. So it addresses not just the mental health issues but the physical health issues in the sense of energy healing, Reiki, hands-on healing techniques. They help calm down. They also play a big role in healing. And then we have all these meditations at the soul level, especially the mind and body processes where they dive deep into their own consciousness and identify and name what emotions they have been carrying all this while. तो उनको पता नहीं होता कि उनके अंदर इतने सालों से रिजेंटमेंट है, एंगर है. तो जब वो उनको आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, उनको नेम करते हैं और वो मेरे साथ बैठ के वैलिडेट करते हैं, फिर एक हफ्ता के बाद I meet them again and then I help them how to release those using the emotional freedom technique or tapping. So this way I can so your question was how I decide how all this is important.
Yeah.
So I go step by step.
Both of them,
So they
it's
all
a balancing
go
thing.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because because psychotherapy, CBT is really just about listening to them, and that's about it. And listening, holistic listening also heals because a person is venting out in a safe, non-judgmental way, So my duty is to provide them a safe space where they can be speaking about their vulnerabilities without the fear of being judged. But उसके ऊपर आपको अगर heal करना है तो आपको सारे modalities का help लेना पड़ता है.
Yeah. Tanya, when you're doing the age regression, do they also crack into the womb or past life, or
Right.
how does that work?
Sure. So past life regression is a different therapy and age regression is a different therapy. So age regression takes the client back to the mother's womb. So we start off from the womb, then to when they were born, then to the primary years, then middle years, up to the present age. हाँ. And इसके healing में हम यही वाली womb से लेके present age we just go through this time span as to what had happened and how we can heal it. But past life therapy is different completely. So we start off by telling the client that we are going to go into your major past births, whichever come up. So they do different. So the client doesn't cross to past life because the instruction is very clear. As a hypnotherapist, the instruction has to be very clear that it's only up to the mother's womb.
And now you have amazing experience, for years and years experience. What would you like to tell the viewers? How should they lead their life? What are the things they should look into? What are the things they should avoid or ignore or understand and heal themselves? And how should they do it? Because you know the both sides, the conscious and the subconscious. So how do you want to help them, telling them your viewers?
So I like to tell my viewers that mental health does not just mental health does not just mean that you don't have any disorders. It means that you are well adjusted with your environment. You are in balance and harmony with not just the environment but also the people that you're dealing with day to day. You feel at peace, you're in harmony. And you overall have a positive attitude towards life and towards change. Adaptability is one of the key signs of a person who is mentally healthy.
Wow.
Another thing I would like to tell you is that if you approach holistic healing, you should approach it with a very open mind, because holistic healing goes gradually, and it heals the psyche of the individual. It cleanses the psyche of the individual. It goes to the deep core issues. It's not just surface level counseling work. It goes into the deep core issues of an individual, and the healing brought about is lasting. The shift in the consciousness is lasting. And moreover, the goal of holistic healing is to move from a victim mindset to an empowered master of your destiny. So, whoever comes for healing work, I tell them that, look, love is also the foundation. I tell them that love is the foundation of holistic healing. What it means is that you need to have love for yourself, compassion for yourself, for your own journey, for the pain that you've been through. You need to be patient to shift. So it's once a week sessions, and the client also needs to work on themselves. So it's a teamwork. I mean, they come, I do a session, then I call them after a week. So in between our meetings, they need to work on themselves. They need to practice the affirmations given, whatever homework is given. If it's not done, they will not shift. And I think that's about it. Overall, I need my clients to know that it's always worthwhile to get in touch with your inner essence, so that you know who you are, get a clear concept of yourself, sense of self, so that you can live an authentic life. Authentic life means that you can be yourself. You don't have to please everybody. You basically know what your values are, what your strengths are, even what your weaknesses are, and then you're able to live as per your authentic self. So, my goal would be to move them from a victim mindset to an authentic and empowered lives.
Wow.
So they can co-create their lives. Yeah.
So, I mean, this was so amazing. When you have done psychology, you're a counselor, and you also know the holistic, the healing side of it, and how you combine and do your work and create the magic.
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
Yes, it's very satisfying to see the magic happen.
Yeah.
And if I can mention about the story of a lady who...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there was a lady who came to me she had lost her only child, and she was in a state of shock and depression. And she came to me for counseling, and I just decided that I have to help her somehow, because she didn't want to live anymore. So then I gradually moved her through the stages of grief. So, you know how one feels shock, and then one denies it, and then one is angry, and then one bargains that what if I did this, and this wouldn't have happened, and then one feels guilty, all these stages. And then finally, slowly the acceptance comes, and then this took a while, and then finally I was able to help her get in touch with her own hobbies, her own needs, rebuild her life around her needs without the child. So this took a while, but watching her shift from not wanting to live to becoming emotionally strong and wanting to start restructuring her life on her own needs and her husband's was a deeply satisfying experience.
Yeah.
So, and I think all these therapies helped me. The healing work, I got her Reiki healing done. We did affirmations, we did visualization. So we did a lot of this self-concept work, because she didn't know what she wasn't clear about her sense of self, because she was only living around the child. So all that helped me shift her.
Taanya, I always ask one question, that after healing so many people, after seeing through so much of suffering, and also the will to overcome it, and people are trying to, that's why they contact us. Do you feel tired? Do you feel exhausted?
So people in the healing line need to take care that they don't get burnt out. They don't get burnt. So I make sure that when I start to get too tired, I take a break. I stop for a week. I focus on my own well-being. So, I just take walks, I go out in the sun, or I would just go and shop. Yeah, I go shop.
Women and shopping.
catch up with my girlfriends. And then when you see that when you come back after a week, you can pour more because your own cup is full. Yeah.
Because with healers especially,
yes,
and you are giving so much.
Your energy, your
probably
time.
Even if you say that it's not your energy, it's a medium, yet
yes,
you're there and
yes,
you're listening so much.
Even listening and absorbing so much.
Yeah, and that shake up and that change and then the whole thing that they need, that is needed in
very essential for anybody in the healing to look after their own well-being, take breaks in between and stop, take a break and then book the clients. So you need to, obviously, if you're in touch with if you meditate or you're in touch with yourself every day, like I make sure I have at least 2 hours of my exercises, yoga, breath work, everything. I work on myself, and then I know when I'm getting tired, and then I just put a pause.
So nice to talk to you, Taanya.
Same here.
And whenever you have any problem and you feel that you need to talk to somebody who can be your counselor as well as your healer, all the details of Taanya is shared in the description box. You know where to go. And let's look for the best life, whatever we can live, and be hopeful, because hope takes us across. So thank you, Taanya.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.